Hey, it's Dead Guy Cardboard. I'm back. It's been kind of a little bit. Um, Got married and went on a honeymoon, so a lot going on. But I wanted to do really just a one pickup video. But I really do these just single pickup videos. But I really just wanted to do it as an excuse to sort of ramble about the Houston Astros. But um, yeah, the pickup I got recently is this Mookie Betts 2014 Topps Update rookie card. Bought this literally like a day or hours before he got traded to the LA Dodgers, and this card increased in value by like 20 or $30. So I lucked out with that because I also had some eBay bucks I just had to spend last second. I just sort of randomly decided to pick up this card before the eBay bucks expired. But yeah, I think Betts is probably the second best player in the league still. It's just unbelievable that the Red Sox couldn't hold on to him. Who knows where he's going to end up? I think this is like a temporary contract with the Dodgers, but we'll see. Okay, what I really wanted to talk about, though, is the Houston Astros. I have really no reason to have anything against the Houston Astros. I'm not a Dodger fan or a Yankee fan. I'm a Reds fan. We're not really affected by them, but I think it's impossible not to talk about. I mean, they really are the Houston Astros. I honestly think that the title from 2017 should be stripped. I don't think anyone should get a championship from 2017. It's certainly not the first time there hasn't been a champion. The World Series started in 1903. There was no World Series in 1904 due to more of like a manager disagreement. And there was no World Series in 1994 due to the players' strike. So there's been twice that there has been no World Series champion technically. So I don't see why you can't just strip the title. They cheated. They got caught cheating, and they admitted to cheating. And being able to see or tell what the pitch is coming at you is a huge advantage. I would argue it's even more of an advantage than doing steroids. I mean, these guys are all world-class athletes. If they know what pitch is coming, that is a huge, huge advantage. It's also just weird that the commissioner, Rob Manfred, said, I think, yesterday that, it's just a piece of metal. It's just a piece of metal. I mean, there are so many players that are so offended by that. I mean, even Mike Trout's been calling out the commissioner, saying that there should be just a worse punishment to the players, and that this is not just a piece of metal. This is what you play baseball for, to win. I really don't think the title should be given to the Dodgers. I mean, if you look at their stats, they still played pretty terribly at home during the World Series, so there's a good chance they weren't going to win anyway. But I just feel like, I don't know, like that 2017 World Series is just tainted. It's almost like the Black Sox in 1919. They clearly threw the game so the Reds could win. This is sort of the opposite. This is a team cheating to win. I think Jose Altuve should get his MVP taken away in 2017. I don't think that will happen, but I think Aaron Judge deserved to get it because he came in second. Altuve cheated, and I think he cheated big time. I really do believe he used a buzzer strapped to his chest to know what pitches are coming. That homer he did against Chapman during the World Series, where he didn't want anyone to take off his shirt, and he gave this kind of bullshit excuse that he didn't want to take his shirt off and because his wife was looking, and his wife didn't want the crowd to see his shirtless body. That is absolute crap, because if you look at his Instagram page, he has all these beach photos prior to the 1970 World Series and now, where he's just topless. So it's the whole thing where I want to be modest in front of my fans is ridiculous. And now he's making this excuse that he's covering up an ugly tattoo at the time. Come on. You hit a homer like that, who cares about your tattoo and your shirt? He ran immediately into the dugout and changed into a t-shirt. I mean, he's guilty. I was a big Jose Altuve fan before all this, and now I'm not. And so that really brings me to, how does this relate to cardboard, to baseball cards? I think these players' values are going to be hurt dramatically. I haven't noticed too much of a downtick if you check eBay, but I think these players are going to get booed for seasons on end. And this is like Barry Bonds. His stuff crashed. Mark Aguirre's stuff crashed after they got essentially caught with steroids. I guess they never caught Bonds, but we all know he did it. So I think Altuve's stuff is going to just go down a lot. Forget about Carlos Correa. That guy's been horrible about apologizing. I think he said, cursed Cody Bellinger for calling him out. And then you got guys that I was praising before, like Alex Bregman, who I thought was a big underdog in the hobby. I think his value is crushed. So I kind of feel bad for people that had some of these cards. These are guys, Bregman and Altuve, I thought were good buys. And then, it's interesting too, you have guys like Justin Verlander. I mean, it really puts a sour taste in your mouth, because this is a guy who was always really talking shit about other players and complaining about other players. And then here he admits to knowing about this and didn't do anything about it. I mean, I don't think his value, his cards will go down that much because of it, because, again, he wasn't technically cheating. He wasn't really batting. And then, Garrett Cole, another Astros pitcher who's now in the Yankees, he denies ever knowing about it. I mean, give me a break. If you hear these stumps from the trash cans over and over again on every home game, how could you not notice that if you're on the team? Anyway, I think this is just sort of a fascinating time for baseball, good or bad. I mean, there's definitely a lot of exposure now because of this scandal, and you have players like Mike Trout, who hardly ever talk to the press, just seem pretty outraged by this, and I think they should be. And I feel really bad too for the pitchers, like Kershaw. I mean, Kershaw's taken this pretty well, but I mean, here's a guy that has not done well during the playoffs, and could have been a big part of that could have been because the Astros knew what pitches were coming. And you have pitchers that lost out on a lot of money. They think they have these arbitration rules where they, if they win a certain amount of playoff games or have a certain ERA during the playoffs or regular season, they can have a higher paycheck. Well, those guys that played against the Astros, they got cheated out of some big money, and this is their livelihood, this is their career, and I'd be upset. Anyway, just wanted to talk about that, and curious what you guys think about the whole Astros scandal. I feel bad for the people and the Astros fans. I mean, I know there's a lot of people there that love baseball, and it's tough because I think no one's going to think that 2017 World Series was legit. It's also interesting. I don't know if you guys know about Vegas Dave. He's the guy that has the 2009 Bowman Chrome Mike Trout Super Refractor card. I think if you search him on YouTube, he shows off that card, and he has a bunch of I think he might have the red Bowman Chrome auto of Mike Trout. He's got some big time Mike Trout autos. Well, he made a good chunk of his money betting, I think in 2015, that the Astros would win the 2017 World Series. Now it makes you wonder how he knew that, because no one thought the Astros would win the 2017 World Series in 2015. It almost makes you wonder, did he know that this thing was happening? I mean, I don't know. I'm not accusing the guy of anything, but it's kind of a huge coincidence. Anyway, that's my ramble. Go Mookie Betts, and stay tuned. I got some big time 90s insert cards that I'll show off later this week. Later.